What is up, my friends? So let's talk about the post-credit scene for Spider-Man No Way Home. Of course, if you don't want any spoilers, I suggest you should not be watching this video right now. Click off, watch the movie, and come back here. But we are going to be discussing the one post-credit scene. Of course, there was another post-credit scene, but that was actually the Multiverse of Madness trailer, which we'll talk about as well pretty soon. But for now, we're talking that one post-credit scene. So as I said, spoilers, it's already been 30 seconds. You read the title, you know what's coming. Let's get into it. So, after the ending of No Way Home, which I already have an ending explained as well, you definitely can go check that out. We got our first post-credit scene, which involved none other than Eddie Brock as Venom, of course, who we saw at the end of Venom 2, Let There Be Carnage. In that post-credit scene was actually transported to the Peter Parker MCU and pretty much was infatuated watching Spider-Man on the TV, and now we have him in this universe. Now, as we know, at the end of Spider-Man, everybody goes to their respective universe, and nobody stays to very much so continue here. So it was a moment of Eddie Brock, Venom, talking about certain characters such as the Hulk and Thanos, and just being in total awe and shock about what's going on in this universe right before they are actually zapped back to their own universe. And in that moment, everybody was probably like, no way. Venom came here and didn't even interact with Peter. What a sham. What a crazy, letdown, right? No, turns out they're not going to let you down, because as the camera zooms into the bar table, we see that there is a piece of the symbiote still left. And that just means one thing. We are getting our Black Suit Spider-Man in the upcoming Spider-Man trilogy that Mr. Tom Holland will be in. And so what else does this lead into? I think that they are definitely going to be showing us the Black Suit Spider-Man in the upcoming Secret Wars movie that hasn't really been officially announced, but we all know it's coming. And I think that's going to be the next spot we're going to see Spider-Man really shine. And I think now that Tom Holland has found this sort of new edge to his Spider-Man, we are going to get a ton of good stuff here. So very excited about that. Now, a big question I think that many of us do have as well now is, if this symbiote is now in this universe, but Eddie Brock has gone back to his, where does that lead everything else, and what happens after? As we know, we don't necessarily have an idea of where Morbius fits into any of this until we get the movie later this upcoming year. But we do know for a fact that the symbiote is here, and we do know also that Morbius had to have also been somewhere during this whole multiverse madness scenario. So we could very well see that the Multiverse of Madness movie might split up the multiverse even more, and maybe these characters come back or something like that. There's rumors already, and I think they're kind of like far-fetched at the moment, that Toby and Andrew would return again for another movie. I just don't see that happening. I think this was something special, and I think if they kept doing it, it would definitely ruin that moment. So I don't see that as a possibility, although many people are wishful thinking. I don't see it. But I do believe that the symbiote will find another host, and maybe a Eddie type character in our MCU, not necessarily Tom Hardy, but I do believe that for sure we are getting the Black Suit Spider-Man. I think that's going to be definitely a big part of the next trilogy. So here's hoping that that is done well. But what are your thoughts on Eddie Brock and the Venom post-credit scene as well? Would you have wanted to see Tom Hardy at some point interact with Tom Holland Spider-Man? Or do you think it's for the best that they just don't, and maybe lead into another Eddie Brock type character and give somebody else a chance? I always like to see new actors take on new roles. So I would definitely like to see somebody else take on the role of Venom in the MCU if that's what has to happen. But if not, I'll take Tom Hardy. I always do enjoy his acting, and I think he would have been great next to Tom Holland. But that's where we're at right now. So what do you think is the future of Venom? What do you think is the future of Spider-Man together? Where do you think that Morbius fits into all of this as well? We do know that Morbius has to have a sort of connection to Venom as well, just from the trailer alone, where Morbius pretty much calls him by his name. So Venom has to have existed in this universe. And we also see that Michael Keaton's Vulture also interacts with Morbius. So I mean, the Sony universe, the MCU universe is just a total mess right now until they polish it out or actually show us what's going on. But for the time being, we are pretty much left in the dark as to how anything or everything will connect once they get further along with it. I do believe that maybe the next trilogy of Spider-Man movies will talk more about that, and I do hope at some point in this next trilogy, as I said, we do get Miles Morales introduced, because I think that is a huge opportunity that Sony is wasting by not having him included in the movies already. But let me know your thoughts and your opinions down below on all of this, and if you're excited for what comes next. I will be doing a Multiverse of Madness breakdown tomorrow, so stay tuned for that video, and my thoughts and theories on that one, because there's a lot to take in there, and I am excited for that one as well. I will say that for Doctor Strange and Multiverse of Madness, you will probably have to catch up on What If at some point. I do think that there is something there to see. But we have a ton of more videos coming for you. We have a ton of more movies to look forward to. I mean, Spider-Man No Way Home was such a huge event. Of course, we dedicated most of the week to it, I think. But, I mean, we got a ton of other stuff before the end of the year comes. There's a ton of movies coming out right now, like Nightmare Alley, Licorice Pizza, and so many others that I just need to catch up on as well. So look forward to all those videos as well. You can also follow my TikTok so you can get some of these other video quick things I want to talk about quicker, but I also want to upload them as shorts. I will be doing a live tomorrow as well, just to discuss Spider-Man No Way Home, probably in the morning, so stay tuned for that if that is when I decide to do it. I do want to just discuss it, spoilers, all of that, in my complete opinion on it as well. So that's something I want to do every day, though, however, is a live. So I probably will try to test it out tomorrow and see how it goes and find the best format for it, whether that's going to be me just live or a voiceover, or we'll see how it's all going to play out. But yeah, that's going to do it for me. Let me know your opinions on the post-credit scene. What do you see for the future of Venom? All that good stuff. Make sure if you haven't already subscribe, turn that notification bell on so you know when these videos drop. As I said, we have the Multiverse of Madness video coming out tomorrow, as well as a live just talking about Spider-Man. So if you catch it on Thursday night, we'll just be discussing it over there. And maybe I'll do another live on Monday, because maybe I'll catch Spider-Man again on the weekend, but we'll see. As always, that is going to do it for me. I hope each and every one of you are doing great. Make sure that you give this video a thumbs up. Our next goal is 25,000 subscribers. Let's get to it. I know we can get there. Thank you again for 20,000 subscribers. I will be making a video pretty soon about that and talking about that. But check out the video on the left if you haven't already. Make sure that notification bell is on, and make sure you're subscribed. I'll see all of you next time. As always, stay safe, stay positive, my friends.